day everyone. In this reflection video, I will be sharing my insight on the application of Republic Act number 4200, also known as the Anti-Wiretapping Law, in relation to the recently discussed interview of Wang Fuji, the alleged former cellmate of Chinese businessman Xia Zhijiang. This interview has gained public attention after it was presented during a Philippine Senate hearing where it raised serious allegations involving espionage, offshore gaming operation, and even questions about national security. As a student observing this case, I find it interesting through which to analyze how RA 4200 is applied or sometimes challenged in situations involving public interest and sensitive intelligence claims. Republic Act 4200 was enacted in 1965 to protect the privacy of communication. It makes it illegal for any reason to secretly record, tap, or intercept any private communication within the consent of the parties involved. The laws cover phone calls, personal conversation, and any form of recorded exchange that's done without authorization. Violators may face imprisonment and fines, and even the use of such recording as evidence in court is prohibited if they were obtained illegally. At its core, the RA 4200 promotes the constitutional rights to privacy. It seeks to prevent misuse of surveillance, blackmail, or manipulation through unauthorized recording. However, as many times have changed, especially in this digital era, its application now intersects with other important issues like public transparency, journalism, and national security. To connect this to Wang Fuji's interview, the interview was reportedly recorded by Zoom, where Wang claimed to be Xia Zhijiang's former cellmate in Thailand. In that recording, he shared allegations about espionage operations and the supposed involvement of certain figures in the Philippines. The recording was later presented by Senator Risa Ontiveros during a public Senate inquiry. Here's the key question: was this recording lawfully under RA 4200? If Wang voluntarily agreed to the interview and understood that his statements would be used in a public hearing, then consent was clearly given, meaning it does not violate the RA 4200. However, if parts of the conversation were taken or recorded without his knowledge, or were later shared beyond what was agreed on, it could raise issues under the law. This gray area shows how tricky it is to apply RA 4200 in a modern context, especially when conversations happens online through platforms like Zoom and later get circulated in the media. For me, the most important part of this reflection is the balance between privacy rights and the public rights to know. On one hand, the RA 4200 reminds us that privacy is sacred even if someone is accused of wrongdoing. They still have the right not to be secretly recorded. On the other hand, the Wang Fuji interview involves claims of espionage and threats to the national security matter that affects not the individuals but the entire country. In this case, the interview was presented in an official government proceeding, not merely for entertainment or gossip. That context matter because the Senate's authority to investigate and aid the legislation provides a legitimate reason to disclose information that would otherwise be private. So while RA 4200 generally prohibits unauthorized recording, public interest and legislative oversight can sometimes justify their disclosure as long as the recording itself was obtained with consent. Personally, I think the application of 4200 in this situation must involve with technology and modern investigative practices. If the interview was done voluntarily, then it should not have seen as a violation. But the Senate media, and the public must handle such recordings responsibly to protect not only privacy but also truth and due process. I believe the intention of RA 4200 is not to suppress truth, but to ensure fairness that information used in public disclosure is gathered ethically. The interview of Wang Fuji opened doors to national awareness, but it also reminds us to safeguard the boundaries of consent, confidentiality, and respect for personal rights. In conclusion, on RA 4200, in relation to Wang Fuji's interview, leads me to one realization that the law must adapt to technology and concept. While privacy remains a cornerstone of justice, there are moments when public safety and transparency require some openness. Still, the key lies in consent, whether the person being recorded understands and agrees to the communication being shared. RA 4200 continues to serve as a vital guardrail for ethical communication. The challenge for us is, especially in the digital era, is to apply it wisely, balancing privacy with the people's right to know and legality with morality. That's all. Thank you.